Hope everyone's good. Waiting for things to get moving, people to join. Very, very excited today. This is a big deal. How you doing, guys? Shivan, John, Matt. I'd love to know where you guys are from, where people are tuning in from around the world. I love that part. Obviously, I'm in LA. I'm in the office today. What's up, Investor Javier? Love it, love it, love it. I'm very well, Tom. How you doing? Hello, Danny. So today's a great day. Today, we're going to have Gavin Brodin from Brodin Design and Build. He's actually going to be joining us today. So I'm going to bring him on right now and make a formal introduction. We got Capri in the house, Florida, Aloha, probably Hawaii. There's Gavin. How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you, Gav. How you been?
Very good.
Excellent, excellent. So I am super excited. For me, this is a big, big deal. And for everyone tuning in today, we have, by the way, we have Manchester. I've seen Hawaii. I think I've seen Canada already. So we have people from all around the world watching us right now, Gavin. So I'm super excited. Vancouver. Anyway, so Gavin Brodin, okay, this is a big deal for me and a big deal for everyone that is watching right now, because Gavin of Gavin Brodin Design and Build has built and designed some of the most significant estates in the world, around the world, quite literally. And honestly, it's an honor for you to be on this live with me now. I can't wait to hear some of your stories and, you know, a little bit about some of the properties that you've built around the world. And I thought we'd kick off with one that everyone is familiar with. And for those of you who tuned in when I had Sam Palmer on my live a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the Manor, formerly known as the Spelling Estate. And for those of you who don't know, Gavin Brodin had remodeled that entire house. By the way, it was 56,500 square feet. How long did it take you to remodel that? Just tell me about how on earth you managed to pull that off, Gavin.
Yeah, that was definitely not easy. It was, we were given 3 months. We had about 4 weeks prep.
Right.
So 4 months in total. Yeah, as you said, the house is 56,000 square feet, so it was quite daunting. So we decided to break the home up as though it was small pieces. So we broke our design team up into 7. And each of our design team, we couldn't cross over with vendors. So whether it was a refinisher, an upholsterer, or anyone customizing or doing bespoke items in the house, we broke it down to 7 teams, 7 sets of different teams. So nobody crossed over. And that was the only way we can get it done. And it worked. It was very big job.
It worked. And I'll be sharing photos on my Instagram story afterwards so you can see what Gavin actually pulled off in this house. How many people did you have working on that remodel at one time?
We had, I mean, internal design team, there was 15 of us, but as far as subcontractors, we had up to 500 a day on site. And probably, I would say it was probably about 2,000 people in general. If you outsource from the subcontractors, at least 2,000 people were working on that for around 3 months.
Wow. So you had 2,000 workmen. Guys, listen, if someone wants to remodel a 56,000 square foot house in 2 months, Gavin Brodin's done it with thousands of people. Are you single, by the way? Someone just asked Gavin.
No, I have a fiance. I'm very lucky.
Sorry, guys, not happening. Thought I might throw that in there. But anyway, so that was probably one of the most iconic remodels that will ever happen, because the Manor is, I think it's bigger than the White House. You basically remodeled a building that was larger than the White House in a matter of weeks. I mean,
yeah, it was like a boutique hotel. It was designed in a very commercial way. You had, you know, your main kitchen was a staff kitchen. So there was no kind of main family hub to the house. So we had to incorporate, you know, bring the house smaller in areas and rooms, make the kitchen back to a kind of a family kitchen, you know, one large great room. So we had a few challenges like that. And obviously the way that the house is run staff wise, it's not like a regular home. You have to ensure all the areas are detailed, from toiletries, the way the staff even move around the house. So there's a lot to do with that, which obviously staffing is a huge thing for these homes.
Right. And it's incredible because it's not just like you did a minor remodel, like the before and after of that house. are completely different. Like you literally,
yeah, it was
thing.
kept. As funny, the candy spelling on the house previously, it was actually kept in good condition, but it was super aged. I mean, the house was dated from, I don't know where it was built in the 80s. It was in perfect condition as far as the way she kept it, but it was incredibly dated in detail. So we stripped everything back. We kept as much heritage of the house that we could. We stripped everything back, cleaned everything as far as making it look nice, light and bright, and redesigned every element. So yeah, it came out nice in the end. It was nice.
It was absolutely unbelievable. It was a pleasure to be involved in the listing as well, which we were fortunate enough to do. So that was incredible. So I wanted to ask you a question, Gavin. You have built houses. I mean, how does it work? You do the design, you do the construction management. You're basically almost a one-stop shop, so to speak, what you can actually provide for your client.
Yeah, a lot of clients come to us, we deliver. So a lot of clients come to us where if they already have an architect, we'll start. I mean, the best projects, if the client has an architect and we get to start from the beginning and collaborate with the architect, I would definitely say it's a far better finished result. I think years ago, you would have an architect, the home we built and done, the interior design would be given the finished home. Whatever was there, you couldn't move anything. Nowadays, working with an architect, you're able to design within the inside out, and it gives you a far better product. But yeah, we're hired to oversee and work with the architect, hired to consult with the contractor. So we kind of act like a project manager with the contractor and help the client with bids. So we kind of do a turnkey product for the client.
It's just incredible because everyone that's watching right now, you've got to imagine, right? If you have any questions, by the way, put them forward to Gavin and myself, and I'll relay them to Gavin. But the point is that Gavin is able to speak about building, remodeling the biggest estates in the world. And the reason that I think we haven't heard as much of you, although you are pretty much out there and people in the know exactly who you are, is because most of your projects you do around the world are private. Like you're doing them for private clients, and you're doing their own home, so they don't really want it getting out too much. So obviously I'm sure there's NDAs and all sorts signed, right?
That's right. It's all of them for the last 20 years, same thing.
Amazing. Well, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. It's great because you're working with the most amazing people and projects in the world, but it would be nice if you could actually show it off more, which is probably what I'm here for today, nonetheless. So let me ask you a question. You've done houses in London, LA. Tell me about which countries you've done projects in.
We've done, I mean, at the moment we're doing Germany, Hawaii, around America. We're working on the Pistons, the basketball team. We're working on the owner suites there, but we're doing New York, Miami, we're working in Detroit. We've got a job in Hawaii, and then obviously in LA, a lot around Bahamas, Germany, and London.
Wow. Okay. You got a lot going on there. How many projects do you typically have at any one time? I mean, look, I'm thinking to myself, everyone building one house that's maybe 2,000 square feet is a headache. It's like building a house of 2,000 square feet. We're talking about Gavin, who's probably building hundreds of thousands of square feet at any one time. In my opinion, I mean, in my head, I don't understand how you pull that off. And for me, it's just incomprehensible. I'm sure everyone watching feels the same. What are your top tips? I mean, if someone wanted to, and I'm not talking about the level you're doing, but if someone wanted to just build their own house, 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, what do you recommend they do? How should they go about that so that they don't end up getting divorced?
Well, first of all, you've got to be very OCD to keep up with all the details in these houses, that's for sure. But also, just as far as in general design, I mean, you can design a great house, but you have to have a good subcontractor and a good team. And I have to have a good design team around me and good subcontractors. I mean, that's number one. As far as a husband and wife, well, nowadays, I would say the husband does more of the design than the wife. I think years ago, it was probably 90% women. 10% men. I would say now it's 80% of the men that are doing the house because of Instagram, the visuals they're seeing. But I think that you've got to start with mood boards is the number one thing. Both of you have to kind of collaborate with the mood boards, try and make sure they jive together.
So tell us about mood boards. So basically, I myself and my wife, by the way, I do build houses as well, but I'm just going to ask you, not
Yeah.
like you do. Myself and my wife, we want to build a house, okay? You're recommending mood boards, which would basically set the tone for each room, right? So I think you're talking about which stone you're going to use, or which material you're going to use on the floor, which fabrics you're going to use, wallpapers. Is that right? Is that a mood
Yeah,
board?
I mean, maybe more general. So I would start with the exterior moods of like the exterior facades, pools, and landscaping. And then interior moods, whether it's kitchen, the main features, the kitchens, the master bedrooms, master bathrooms, maybe guest suites. So it's kind of mood. I mean, you can search Instagram and say, I love this room, or I love this detail, pull those together in combination, and then hopefully they'll kind of mash and design wise. But I think that's the most important thing to do before you get started, and then see who wins the battle between the husband and wife.
Good advice there, I tell you. And what about renderings? Because like now we can really benefit on technology. For example, right now we can have really accurate renderings that frankly look like the house has already been built, right? Which is, I don't think they had that 10 years ago, did they? Like to the
Yeah, no,
now.
It's very interesting. I mean, first of all, years ago, design, as I said, it was the architect finished the home, and you had mechanical vents, you had that splattered all over the house. Nowadays, you are integrating all your mechanical, electrical, plumbing throughout the house, so it's super seamless. And yeah, you know, you used to be looking at just an elevation, a sketch, which clients could say, I understand it, but they don't understand it. You don't see the perspective view.
Yeah.
Now you can fully render. I mean, you can actually do a VR. You can put a headset on and have a VR walk around the house. You could never do. But CGIs are a really important thing, I think, for clients to do of key images. And they get to see how the house looks. It's perfect. Your exact finished CGI is what you can achieve, which is great. Amazing.
So obviously, you know, there are people that are watching right now that if you are looking to build a magnificent estate house anywhere in the world, I suggest you look at Gavin Brodin's website and at his social media. You'll see what he's actually done. But I think what's also interesting is, you know, for a lot of people watching right now, you know, Gavin, as far as like, you know, top tips and everything like that, you're saying get the mood boards together, right?
Yeah.
Benefit on the fact that you can get CGIs. What about like being able to access so much online? Are there any specific websites that people should be looking at to get design ideas? And this is obviously for you know, people that are watching now that may or may not be considering building their house. This might actually push them over the edge to just go ahead and do it in the right way.
I would say Pinterest. I mean, you cannot beat Pinterest. You're going to get any kind of mood and detail. And I mean, you can search, you can be on there. It's like just a web just keeps going and keeps going. I think as far as anyone for tips for the house on any kind of style or detail they want, is going to be found on Pinterest. It's amazing.
Wow. Okay. So how do you just type in whatever you're looking for and it just comes up
you
with a
could
whole
type in modern kitchens and see an image of a kitchen you like. You could zoom in that kitchen. It's going to give you another, you know, 25 kitchens that are similar. You can kind of do the same throughout powder rooms. Sometimes not easy. You normally have to see an image you like, scan in on that image, and then from that image, it will show you more similar images of whatever you're looking through, living room, fireplaces. Wow. But yeah, it's a very easy way of doing it. Years ago, people would be tearing things out of magazines. Now you can do everything online. So it's pretty easy.
So there you have it. Pinterest. Anyone looking to build a house, get the design ideas. Pinterest is obviously a great tool, which I'm probably going to start using because I'm planning to build my house in the next year. So wish me luck. That's all I can say.
Good luck. Let's hope you stay married.
Yes. Well, we've done it before. We've actually built a house about 3 or 4 years ago, and we were meant to move into it, Gavin. Right? It was on Martell Avenue. It was east of Fairfax in West Hollywood area, right? And we built the house. And we really wanted to move into it. Like this was our house. We were moving out of an apartment. We were going to, you know, get married, start a family. And then James, my business partner, comes up to me. He goes, I've been working with a buyer. Let me show her your house. She's seen everything else. I said, my house is not for sale. Like genuinely, it's not for sale. We plan to move into it. That's what we're going to be doing. And by the way, someone wished me happy Father's Day. Thank you very much, Smiley. That's very sweet of you. So anyway, he goes, let me just show the client the house. So I said, okay, fine. So she came to see the house. I gave a number that I, you know, would consider, which was, you know, kind of high at the time. She ended up buying the house. So we didn't move into that house that we just built for ourselves, but we ended up buying another one, which is where we're in right now. We just haven't knocked it down yet. So Yes, that will probably happen in the next year or so. But Gavin, do you actually build your own houses as well, or do you just work for clients?
Actually right now I've just bought a lot for myself off Mulholland.
Amazing.
And then which is nice. Got a 5-acre lot. I'm going to build a nice house amongst the oak trees.
5 acres, is that it?
Yeah, it's a really unusual lot. You'd never imagine it was there right off Mulholland. It's never been built on. It's complicated. You have urban forestry and the tree division, and you have to work around the permits, but it's exciting. But I do a few flip projects for clients, so they hire us and we kind of work with them from the ground up, whether it's new construction or a remodel. I have 3 or 4 good clients that we continue to do those projects for them.
Amazing. So do you have like a particular, obviously you live in LA, so I'm imagining you're partial to LA, but how do you feel about like building in London or building in Hawaii or building in LA or New York? Where's your favorite place to build? Where's the most difficult place to build? Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I would say the best place to build is actually in England. Everyone is so detailed on drawings and shop drawings, and there is no room for a mistake. Everything's by the millimeter over there. So as far as it's more complicated than upfront drawings, but as far as execution, the subcontractors in the UK are definitely some of the best I've ever experienced in the world. There's no question. LA is good. You have a lot of great vendors over here. You have a lot of good source. I would say the most difficult is Hawaii. Everything's brought over, and everything is just much slower. You know, the drawings are very basic, and you know, you're lucky to get a vendor over there. And if you do get that vendor, he's probably the only good contractor who does stonework. So you're having to deal with a very small pool of good subcontractors. So Hawaii, I would say, has been our most difficult.
Right. So if you're looking to build a vacation home, do it in London or England. Stay away from Hawaii because it's going to be a pain in the backside.
Well, not necessarily stay away because it's beautiful there.
All right, just be ready for more of a challenging build.
Yeah, a longer lead time.
Amazing, amazing. So I guess my next question to you, Gavin, is how long have you been living in LA for, firstly, and tell us a little bit about what brought you out here and how it all started for you in LA.
I moved out here in '97. I actually came on holiday with a few friends of mine in '96. Managed to sunbathe on Christmas Day, and I was like, wow, this is definitely a great lifestyle, and traveled over LA for about 3 weeks, and I was just sold. I mean, the weather, like it's weather. It's a phenomenal lifestyle, eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I literally packed up and moved 3 months later and I was here in April 1997. And I would never move anywhere else. I travel for work, but as far as my home base, I would never live LA.
I'm with you 100%. Same thing happened to me 12 years ago, not as long as you, but LA for me, the weather, like you said, the lifestyle, the opportunity as well. I just think it's almost too good to be true, right?
Yeah. And by the way, I was only 5 at the time. I'm not that old.
We know that, Gavin. We know that. No one thought anything other. So, look, obviously, it's a pleasure to have you on. Do you have any questions or anything you want to share otherwise? Because I can see a couple of questions coming up. Someone asked about Miami. Have you done any projects there before?
Yes, we have. We finished a really nice penthouse for a client. He's actually put it in the market on Collins Avenue. But you have, again, great sources of vendors over there, so it's very easy to work on the East Coast.
Amazing, amazing. So Miami, you say Collins Avenue. I've spent a lot of time there, and Miami is awesome, by the way. It's kind of like a combination of New York and LA in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you get, the weather's great there. It's a little bit more laid back, but you also do have the high rises and everything like that. But you have the beach as well. So I guess my question is, there's a lot of Art Deco architecture. Is that Collins, right, where the hotels are? There
is, yeah, there is. I mean, the place that we built, the penthouse, it was a new build, so it was much more modern. So we had no restrictions or no kind of heritage details we had to deal with on the design. So for us, it was fairly easy.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, that's good. And then, what was it? A house? Because normally in Miami,
no, it was a penthouse. It was a 5-floor building. It was a top floor on the 5th floor, basically.
Amazing. What about New York? Have you done anything there?
Yeah, we've done plenty in New York. Actually, we have one client, we do that. They have a very high-end office building, so we do all their interiors. That is complicated as far as the access. You're dealing with access after hours, very, very small elevators, walking up 12 flights of stairs with cabinetry taken apart. It's definitely definitely not that easy over there.
Definitely not. Now, I do want to share one thing. If everyone looks at the last post I made on Instagram, it's our brand new $125 million listing. $125 million, okay? It's probably one of the most special pieces of land in the whole of LA. It's directly across the street from the Bel Air Hotel, okay? It comes with approved plans, paid for, done, designed for 3 estates. Each estate is about 60,000 square foot. And by the way, you didn't hear 16, I said 60, 60. So you've got 3 estates, each one is 60,000 square feet. Have a look at the renderings on the last post that I made on Instagram. Gavin Brodin designed those 3 houses. Tell me about how on earth you go about designing 3 60,000 square foot houses opposite the Bel Air Hotel with the detail that you've managed to pull off there. How long did that take you? Because in my opinion, that's probably one of the greatest opportunities, but the design is insane. I mean, guys, look at my last post. Those renderings are ridiculous. Tell me about that, Gavin, because
that was
incredible.
Yeah, that was a great project. That was actually that used to be 9 houses, and it was torn down. So it was 11 acres, and we have permits for 3 houses. That was a while. It took us about 9 months of full detailed drawings and design, but it's phenomenal, and we really thought things through. So one of the houses, if people have staff, how they use the staff, you would never see staff come in a front door, or staff parking, or maintenance, whether it's fish tanks, whether it's air conditioning. So we designed those for a proper estate living, so you wouldn't see staff, maintenance details. I mean,
so you're going into that level. So it's not just the design, it's not just making it look pretty and incredible. You're also at the same time thinking about function. You're thinking about, that's amazing. You're actually thinking to the level of where the staff will be out of sight. So
it's more than that. I mean, we even deal with, you know, if it's just the master bathroom, you know, where you put everything, where the lotions go, where the creams go, where your hair dryer goes, where towels go, dirty towels, clean towels, storage towels. We do that through every single room in the house. The kitchen has every detail.
It's a 60,000 square foot house times 3. You're literally designing where each towel or shampoo holder will go.
Even the toothbrush.
and that's the level of detail. But literally, that's how detailed you're going before it's even a reality, right?
Correct.
And does that make it a lot easier? So for example, we have these 3 estates, probably my favorite piece of land in the whole of LA. And again, I can't believe that we, you know, I can, but I'm very grateful that we get to represent this. Okay, again, it's 125 million. It is the best piece of land in Los Angeles, in my opinion. But the point is, now that you've designed them to this level of detail, and you can see the renderings and everything like that, if someone bought these estates, which I know they will soon, okay, will it make the build process a lot easier for them, having everything you've already done? I mean, is it all done, basically?
It is. Everything is done. I mean, as long as they obviously can change the colors, the tones, the patterns, you can do anything you want. I mean, you can actually change the architecture, but if someone was going to go ahead with that design, it's fully designed, detailed, specified, you know, interior elevations. They can just hit the ground and get going. Absolutely.
So what would they do? They take the plans and permits and everything that you've, the package, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
They give it to a builder, a general contractor, right?
Correct.
And they basically can start building tomorrow.
That's correct. They can literally hire a contractor, hire the subcontractors, and they can get going. It's a fully permitted, you know, shovel ready, in the ground, fully designed, interior elevations, structural engineering, mechanical, absolutely everything has been designed and thought through.
And how long do you think? And I know a lot of the answers to these questions because I am one of the listing agents, so I have to. But I'm asking Gavin so that he can give you all the answers and you can all hear exactly what I have asked him previously, and he's already told me. But the question is, how long roughly? I go and buy one of those lots, for example, right? I give you give me the plans and permits and the package of everything you've designed. And by the way, guys, look at my profile page. Look at the last post I did. It's the best best design you've ever seen. Like, I guarantee it. You'd think it was already built. It's so detailed. But anyway, how long is it going to take me roughly to build that house?
I mean, if you have a good, no rains and a good subcontractor, good project manager, good contractor, good subcontractors, you could probably do that in 2.5 years if there was no changes. Obviously, if someone's going to change and start detailing and change some windows and doors and engineering, you can probably talk up to 3 years.
Wow. But that's like, and how long has it taken to design that? So like to get to the point that we're at right now, how long did that take?
That's a long time. I mean, that was 9 months for us. That would probably take 2 years for another firm to fully design, to fully engineer, full interior drawings. That's 1.5 to 2 years if you started with an architect before you even got to the site.
Wow, that is absolutely insane. And I've done a couple of Instagram lives at the Park Bel Air. You can look it up probably on Bond Street Partners YouTube. I literally do a live tour of that estate. But one thing that we didn't say as well is one thing is getting the plans and permits and the design, which is what you've done through the city. But you've actually done a lot of grading on that site already. Explain what grading is to everyone, because you're looking at like, over 10 acres right now, okay, of land. That's a huge amount of land. What did you have to do and why did you do the grading and how does that work?
Yeah, so basically with this lot, there was somebody owned the properties many, many years ago, did a lot of illegal grading. So they were basically moving around walls, moving around dirt with no permit. So we've literally had to take 11 acres of dirt and pick it up and recompact it and put it down. So they call it a certified lot. So now any work that gets done, any retaining walls, any piles, any swimming pools goes into a compacted certified fill. So you can actually do proper construction.
Wow. And that, does it also, so basically what it's like R&R, that you remove the dirt and recompact it, but you're also doing a lot of like concrete work. You're creating more of a flat pad for each of the houses to be built on, right? And that involves a lot of retaining walls and everything, and concrete and everything like that.
Yeah,
right?
we have huge retaining walls. Basically, we've redesigned the lots and flatten out the pads to get as big a flat pad as we can, in all 3 lots. But yeah, there's retaining walls, grading. There was about 2.5 years of just retaining walls and grading on that property to get where we're at today.
So we're basically looking at like 3, 4, maybe even 5 years just to get to the point we're at right now.
That's correct. I mean, these projects in general in Bel Air will take someone kind of 7 years from start to finish. Someone can take this property as it is right now and be in within 2.5 to 3 years maximum.
Which is amazing if you think about it. Like some of the houses that I show, some of the houses that I tour, just think about it, guys. They've taken 7 years of planning, design, commitment, right? And stress and aggravation, I would have thought, for the most part, unless you're using Gavin, of course, because he'll take a lot of that from you. But to get to that point, that's actually quite amazing if you think about it. That's a huge commitment, both financially, time-wise. But, in the Park Bel Air case, sorry to keep going on about it, I think that's one of your true design masterpieces. And it's such an incredible opportunity. Maybe we'll do a live there one time together. We'll walk through it and you can talk to everyone about, what it's taken to get to the points that you're at, and, talk about different areas which were difficult and et cetera, et cetera. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay. Well, listen, we're running out of time now. We've already been on for 28 minutes. We've got another 2 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, hello, Belgium. We've probably got a ton, actually. I could just scroll up right now. So we have a lot of questions, actually. I'll ask one more question for Gavin before he goes. If anyone has any other questions, let us know. It's actually a good point. Someone said, why are these beautiful homes sometimes less than a painting? Now, that kind of ties into the fact, do you work with art galleries as well to actually, and I know we do as well, but when you actually create an incredible house for someone, Gavin, or yourself, do you put a lot of attention into the art as well?
We do, but it's funny enough, of the one thing of the house that is so personalized, it's hard for us to even put it in, is probably artwork. It's the only piece in a house that, we would love to say to a client, here's all the artwork, take it, but it's probably the only part of a home that the client will have their own taste, and everybody's taste is incredibly individual. It's definitely the one item in the house that we would love to do every piece, but rarely we do.
Well, it's like, it's basically like choosing someone's closet in a way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Gavin, you've been an absolute star. I'm very,
Thank
very
you.
grateful that you agreed to come onto my Instagram live, because you are a big deal.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to work with. Maybe we'll do the Park Bel Air tour. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to save this story onto my, I'm going to save this Instagram live onto my story, so it'll be there for the next 24 hours. And then we'll also put it onto my YouTube, so it will sit there, and I'm sure Gavin will have access to it to put onto his sites as well. But yes, Gavin, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, David.
And thank you everyone for watching. I will speak to you in a bit, Gavin. Bye,
Take
guys.
care. Thanks, bye.